We applaud you because of what you have done and what you are doing. You are doing it. That is the performance of many lifetimes. Because you say the performance of a lifetime is the expression of the artist on the stage that is doing something that cannot be duplicated. And you cannot be duplicated. You are one singular individual expression of yourself. You are experiencing and understanding that reality is God looking into the mirror through you. Another mirror looking into a mirror. And you will see dimensions going on and on. But in every mirror, if you were to do this in the world of spirit, you will see the same face, but a different face, but the same face, but a different face, over and over again in every mirror. And in every lifetime, it is the same thing, the same face, a different face, over and over and over. And that is why the more you change, the more you are the same, because you are experiencing yourself in all of your facets over and over again. What is the point of this? First, you must understand that the body that you think cannot contain the immense love that the gurus have told you, that not even the body can contain the great love of God, Source, Mother, Father, Infinite, Nameless One, of all names. You cannot hold it, but you can, because so much of your capacity has not been fully filled. And so we applaud you upon the stage of reality, because you have played the hero and the villain, the lover, the hater, the builder, the destroyer, the preserver. Are we getting into scripture now? In India, you have the destroyer, the preserver, the creator of life, by the names that you know when you have studied the scriptures. The ancient texts that are ancient to you, that are timeless to God, which is you. What can you do to be more you? How to make your life more magical? How to mother yourself, father yourself, brother, sister, friend, challenge, teacher, student yourself. If the cells of the body, which have boundaries between themselves and another cell together, there is always an end to the cell. There's a boundary between all things. Sitting where you are right now, if we were to draw an energy line from this point here in your head and draw it down through the body, through what you are sitting on in the home, the place you are sitting in, and draw that line through the ground, and then take it across lakes and rivers and streams and mountains and cities and boulevards, and take it all the way, thousands and thousands of miles. And then it will reach another person. So if you could go across the mountains and then you could go to the bottom of the sea and you are drawing a line, that line, no matter how long the line is, would be connecting you to another person, another place. Then you say, well, that is a physical distance that I measure by how fast I can travel through there. Because you say, I measure the distance by time. It takes me 20 minutes to get somewhere. It takes me an hour and a half to get somewhere. But again, only by how fast you are going. So now you are measuring time, distance, and speed together. And they are interlacing, like your hands, interlacing together, like the roots of a tree interlacing into the soil, like the notes of the music that are moving through the air and interlacing into your beautiful, divine, receiving soul. That is then measured by resistance. You see, feeling is measured by resistance or surrender to it. As you surrender to your sensitivity, the more receptive you are, the more sensitive you are, things seem bigger. Is it possible the more sensitive you are that things can also seem smaller? Because if you are more sensitive to the larger reality, as you see size to be the larger reality, you are in a room right now. If you were to have the perspective of a bird, you would have a larger, wider perspective of the room you are sitting in now. So let us say for the discussion that we are having with you that this is larger perspective. Then to say, I am beginning to hear sound and frequency coming from somewhere. I do not know if this is a sound I'm hearing with my ears or this is a sound I'm hearing in my head. And you know you can hear sounds in your head. You only have to think of a memory of a sound, and the sound will be very loud and clear. This also is, of course, the way you are speaking internally to yourself. And so you're living in all of these realities. What is the reality? You have your emotional reality, physical reality. They do not have to be the same always, because some people are in physical pain, but you can tell them a joke and they will laugh while the pain is still there, and it takes their mind off it, though the body is still in that pain. And you can add more emotions on top of it. So you have a great capacity to feel many emotions at once. You like things that have many emotions at once. You like a fruit that has a tanginess, but also a sweetness, that has a depth, but also a very light feeling to it. And so it is because you are the same. You are God looking at herself in the mirror all the time. Beautiful sentiment. But how does it help you make money? How does it help you to have more love? How does it help you to feel better about yourself, past, present, and future? How does it help you to understand the mysteries of the universe? You want to always have some mystery to the universe. You don't want to know everything in the universe all the time. Why would you want to do that? Then you will know everything. Or will you? Imagine to know everything. What would it feel like to know everything? Have you ever thought about that? To actually say, I'm in the knowledge of knowing everything now. I know the truth about that, and about that, and about that, and about that. And all of the students, my beloved students, and the children of my students, and the children of their students that are listening to your madam talking to you now. So you know everything of why and what and how and because. And you still have more room in your physical brain. You have more room in the totality of what you are, which is spirit. And now you are all knowing. And so you call God all knowing. And so now you are surrendered to being God self. And then you will sit in the chair, in the throne of the light of the heavens, and you will know. And then will it be done? What shall you do then? Well, then you can begin. to live, to feel peaceful. Will you rest in peace then? Or will you play in peace, work in peace, create in peace? Good to rest in peace. Why not to work and play and create in peace, to breathe in peace, to talk in peace, even to debate in peace, everything in peace, to die in peace? What is peace? You feel you know it. You know what peace is between nations, no more fighting. Then you say, well, that must be the same for me. Inside, no more fighting. If there is no more fighting, that means there are agreements that are made, again, in peace, peace treaties. But you want to talk about magic, the magic that takes you away from the discussion of peace, of the self-evolution, of the God self-realization, of the ideas that you must transform your pain into your power. And so you wish to know the things about magic. So now you must know magic, because magic is something that is over there. It is separate. I don't want to look here. Do not want to look over there in the big crystal ball that I am living in. I want to look into the crystal ball that I am holding in my hands. And if I look into the crystal ball that I am holding in my hands, then that will fix that which is around me. What if you look into the crystal ball and you see yourself holding a crystal ball, and then you keep going and going? It gives you a very magical feeling that you're having when you're looking at that. And you can get lost in the magic instead of finding the magic, realizing the magic. The realizing is in yourself. The realizing is not that you make it happen. The realizing is you begin to see it was there all along. That is what realizing is. You can discover a realization because you are looking somewhere else. As you are looking somewhere else, it is in the quest to know something. You look over there to know something else. If you are raised in any tradition, you were born, you were chosen by yourself to be exposed to that tradition, that religion, that background. That is what you chose. And they trust it upon you because the beliefs of those around you, they expect you to be like them, and they want you to be like them, and that becomes the basis of what you think that you are. And you still have it in your minds that when you die you will be the same belief, religion, the same, the background, the face, the ethnicity, the language, all of the things again that you identify with. You believe that that is the person you will be there, and the people that you will see will be like you. Maybe you believe you are saved, you are chosen ones, that you are the only ones who know what is right. But openness does not have boundaries. That means if the heart is open, notice these things with the word open. If the heart is open, you know what it means. Open the heart, open the mind, open the door, open the window, open your hands, open your arms, open your legs. You want to conceive and birth something. You want to have the dynamic contrast and friction to create. It is not violent. So open is the word. The games that you play now on your television, computer screens, open world, endless life, that art that you make with your computers to to have endlessness. So when you hit your capacity for, you feel, I cannot create anymore. I cannot think of what to do next. And that is because you're not to do nothing. You are to have realizations. And that is why so many of you are so frustrated at what it is you want to feel, because you want to get enlightenment. What do I have to do? How do I realize? How do I keep it when I get the realization? I hold the vibration ahead. Teacher, guru, healer. I got the great feeling of God for 1 moment, 2 moments. How do I keep it? Again, you are still looking for that is going to be separate. It is too disappointing for you to realize the whole thing is everything. Everything is connected to everything else. Like we said, you're sitting here, draw a line, keep going across the landscapes, it will reach somewhere else, and then it will reach everywhere. Where you are sitting right now is connected to everything on planet Earth. You can draw a line from where you sit right now to anywhere on planet Earth, to the North Pole, the South Pole, opposite country on the other side of the world, where from where you are sitting right now. You can do this. That means that the pathway is always open to you. Those who can astral project can be there like that. Those who can look into the remote viewing, they can go there. And it is because they do not see or are distracted by this physical distance. Why? Because we told you, if you are more sensitive to what is larger than the distance from where you are sitting right now to the opposite side of the earth, if you are in your perspective bigger than the earth, then that distance will become very tiny. You use your sensitivity many times when you want to create art or you want to create anything. You can become very tiny, and then something will seem bigger. If you are very bored sitting where you are, if you begin to quiet and become very tiny inside of yourself, the same boring room that you are sitting in will become more interesting, because you're beginning to notice things that you did not notice before. It could be a color, the temperature, it could be something in the room that you have overlooked when you walk by. So that is where you become more still, and you start to feel that everything is more interesting and bigger. So use it the other way around, that you are bigger than the universe. That they used to say that the entire universe that you see. What if every planet, you are on Earth and you see the planets next to you see Mars and Venus and Mercury, Jupiter, and it is a very vast distance for you with your current known technology to have to travel to another planet. It will take you so long to be there, considering the type of fuel you use, the type of craft you have, the current state of technology, the way the body can survive using that technology. When you have more advanced technology, the body will be very safe in a spacecraft and go very, very fast using very different principles. That I will talk about as we go on. So, you start to see yourself approaching those things in your life that you think keep you from your enlightenment. I am being dragged down by my fear and my anger about something. I am being clouded with these thoughts of what is real. Do I believe in that, or do I believe in that, or do I believe in that? I have to believe in something that's different than all of that. I want to know the truth. The truth as you see it. Because the absolute truth, what can that be for you? What is the absolute truth? The lovers will say love. The warmongers will say war. The peace lovers will say peace. The music lovers will say music. Dancers will say dance. They will find the absolute truth in those things. They live by them, they die by them, they rebirth themselves through it. You go on. That is true, but you see, again, you are saying that you are but one identity. Remember, you are multidimensional. That means even now you are many. You say, I feel like many. Do you? Or are you mostly thinking that you have many different perspectives, that you are able to see in different timelines, maybe past lives? Multidimensional, does it mean that you are multi-talented? No. You are wanting to understand dimensions. Now, currently, you believe we speak to you from another dimension, though we are speaking to you from the larger reality. That to you is another dimension because you have boundaries, like the cells that we referred to. So, the planets, the Jupiter, the Mars, the Venus, what if they are cells in the bloodstream of some much larger being that is where you are residing in? That the planets, you see, your Earth is very small compared to Jupiter and the other planets that are very large in your solar system. And so you cannot even imagine that these planets maybe are the size of cells in a much larger being who is perhaps swimming in a much larger ocean than that. So you have to go very slowly when you are realizing and trying to imagine this. Go very slowly. Go start again now. You are tiny cells. All your planets are tiny cells. Remember how small a cell is, you cannot see it. In your body right now, you cannot see an individual cell. So what we are saying is an individual cell on your body is the planet Jupiter. Imagine that now. How many cells in the body? Now that is in the body. What if that body is now in a room? And that room is in a city, an state, and a world, and another universe. And you say, I knew it. We are a tiny speck in all of existence. Oh, you can say that, but what if we tell you, no, you are the being? I like that idea. I love it. I want to be that. It makes me feel very grand. Oh, now you are very grand because you feel, you imagine yourself to be bigger until you say, well, what about that world that I'm living in, that I'm the very big being in? Then there is something bigger than me. So now you keep going because you keep measuring size by your perception of your boundaries. And so you say, my mind cannot wrap itself around such a concept. I cannot now imagine it. But we told you again and again as we begin to talk to you now that you do have this capacity. Take yourself there. You are that being with all the planets that are tiny in cells in the very tip of your finger. You are that being. And that being is in a larger reality. Another house, another city, another planet, another system again. Now imagine now that system is another cell in another much larger being. You can pace yourself here and breathe into what we're saying and to listen to this. To think of this only requires very little part of your consciousness to realize that is how much capacity you have in this brain and mind that you are listening and receiving this information right now. You have it in you. That is why we applaud you for what you don't even know you can do. Now you say, no, my problems seem not so important. You are not separate from this. It is not to take you away from your problems, to give you something to imagine that is so much more magical, so you look away from your problems. That your problems do not have God, that your problems do not have magic, that they are not God and they are not magic. They are again separate again. So you have looked, and we take you on the journey, and you say, I see the beauty, the grandeur of everything. It is mind blowing. I cannot even imagine it. But you tell me I have the capacity to understand it, to feel it. Oh, and madam, I know now. But what if your body still hurts? The loved one is still sick or dead already. You're missing the people that you love that have been taken from you as you feel they have been. The traumas of the past, the ever changing world where you are trying to feel if you can keep up with it, if you even want to keep up with it. Then, if you have had enough time to express yourself and to be and to experience what you want to experience, and to watch the degradation of the physical body as you see it is degrading over time. You use this word to degrade. The flowers do not degrade, they become dried and wither, and that is a beauty. Don't you love dried flowers? You keep them in your books. Your book, which is made of a dead tree, and you have paper in the tree, that the paper comes from the tree and made into the book is still alive, is it not? Put it under microscope, all the cells of the pages are still buzzing with energy, and now they are infused with the thoughts and the emotions written in the word, in the poetry, in the stories, and the drawings that you make. And now the ink, which is also alive, it is infused with emotion. That is why you feel this in the books that you hold. And then you put your dried flowers in the book. Nothing is dead. So you do not wither or degrade over time. You are the stages of your life of this expression. And as you understand it, even for a moment to make peace with it, you will slow down the process that is unpleasant to you, that you say, I get old, I don't like to see it. The word capacity implies limits, but you have to use that word. When we tell you there is no limit, there is nothing called capacity, it does not exist. Energy permeates and continues onwards, creating wider and wider edges of reality. So your scientists, they call this the ever expanding universe, the ever expanding oneness, that is universe oneness. Even in all the multiverses together, they are still in one reality. So you will find words, dimensions that please you more, that help you more. It is a universe, it is a multiverse. And then what will you have after multiverse? Is that the end? That is, you now you know everything. Everything is multiverse. So you sit there again, now you're starting to know more. No, now I'm knowing the knowledge. I have the esoteric knowledge to be the fullness of what I am, though maybe I will never reach the endlessness, because again, maybe there's a capacity for your enlightenment. Is it too much for you to talk about this? What you're waiting for is to talk about it. So I come to you in the way you can hear it more through the channel, so you can hear it more. in the channel is you, because you are receiving it too. You are the receiver and the processor. And the voice from what you call the future is talking to you. How do you know? Because it is coming from somewhere and landing in the now. And here in the now, always the now, the now, the now. As again, you know, it is always now. And that bothers you because you want the now that is going to happen. But we applaud you again because you are still interested. You cannot take your I, the I that you are. You say I, English, you say I. You say I. Your I that you see with, the I that you are being with. And your beingness is to see. You are the observer, are you not? Are you not observing your reality right now? So you are seeing it. That is the observer. And that is why you, the sound of what you refer to as me, in the English, you say I. And then you got your pirates, those people say I. That means yes. I. Yes. The sound is the same. It's fun to play with language to understand it. That is interesting to understand sound as it comes. And mama, the ma is always coming from everywhere. This word ma. So many, most of the cultures on earth, for mother they say ma. It comes from the child to say it. Who invented the word? Maybe the babies invented the word because the baby come out and say ma. And so maybe the parent, the mother, maybe she thought she is ma. The baby look at her and say ma. She think that is the first word. The baby recognize her, so it's ma. But maybe ma is ma, you know. Maybe she is the goddess that the baby is seeing. By the way, you are the baby. You are the baby. You said ma, coming from where? What do you believe? You are the sperm, or you go into the sperm? Then you swim into the egg. Or where is it? Or are you just the sperm? Are you not also the egg? You are part of the mother, part of the father. Why do you say ma when you come out? Maybe there has to be a word because you are inclined to speak. But it is interesting that ma, most of the world knows what is ma. Mama, da da, pa. And then your gurus, ba, great father. So ma maybe is the recognition of every spirit born into the human experience. They are recognizing source, reality, the God source. So they say ma. And all of you have this, your mothers, grandmothers, and grandmothers' grandmothers, all the way back to whatever place you think you come from. You think you came from the caveman, you came to be from, you were an amoeba before, or you came from the aliens from other planets, or you came from Adam and Eve, whatever you think you come from, you are known to say ma now. What are you sure of? What a question to ask. What are you sure of? I'm sure I'm very sleepy. I'm sure I'm very awake. I'm sure I'm very angry. I'm sure. What does it mean to be sure? I know this to be true. I'm sure of it. And that is because you have the proof for yourself, is the feeling. I know I'm angry because I have proof. I can feel it. So people feel there is God. People feel there is devil. People feel this is good person, this is bad person. You're living in a world, a reality of opinions, of beliefs, and these people, everyone around you. Do you start to make friends with the ones who believe in the same, see things the way you see them? That is who you become friends with. You are not so close in friends with people who think opposite of you. You tend to have friends who think alike, 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 I like. What is that you like? You are like that thing. It is residing in you. You like them, it is because you are like them. You like something because it is awakening something inside of you that you are like. So, don't you like joy? Don't you like laughter? Don't you like dreaming? Don't you like love? Don't you like liking? It is because you like those things. You say, I want to eat it up. I love my cat so much. I want to eat my dog. So I want to love him so much. I want to eat him up because you want it to be. It feels right to kind of express. You want to consume them. Why? Because what you consume, it becomes part of your body. You eat the food, it becomes part of you. And so the soil and the fertilizer and the nature that makes the food, that is you. You are what you eat, they say. And so on. You say, oh, I want to eat that up. It was so, my cat, my dog was so cute. I want to eat it up. My lover is so cute. I want to eat them up. What a beautiful feeling that you get to have. That is why in appetite, somebody says, I have no appetite. That is something that is you pay attention to. I have no appetite. So you have to understand why you have no appetite. And be gentle with yourself as you learn about that. Because sometimes it is that you're not supposed to eat, and sometimes it is that you're too upset to eat. So you have to pay more attention to something. You were so upset you had no appetite. Why? Because there was no space to consume more. You yourself are consumed with your feelings. Huh? You're consumed with your feelings, so you cannot eat. Because why eat? So much of a problem on the planet about what do I eat? How do I eat? Understand what is eating first. It's not just to sustain your physical body and the cells of your body, but it's also for you to understand something because you're living in emotional reality. Everything is emotional for you. It is not too much for you to understand. It is what you need to understand. It's not too much to understand. It is exactly what you need to understand. You will have peace from this. It is not going to overwork your mind. Your mind is not overworked by the amazingness of reality. Your mind has been overworked by the repetition of the minute part or perspective of reality that you are trying to mold or fix or break to get something more out of, to eliminate it, to push all the things away that you don't like. And that kind of violence that happens. I want to smash that thing I don't like. I want to burn it. I want to disintegrate it. I want to turn it into light, this darkness. Oh, great spirit guides, great healers, Guru, take it from me. Jesus, Buddha, everybody take it from me, turn it into light. And my brothers and sisters, my children and my friends and my love that we say to you, we tell you it is already light. The process of you transmuting, to transfer it, to transform it into light, to see if you cannot do it, it is too much for you, and your gods and goddesses turn it into light. That is just for you to see. It was already light because you're getting the knowledge of your freedom from it. You cannot be afraid of it. You are looking into the crystal ball and seeing yourself looking into the crystal ball. And there comes a time you put it aside. You say, I am simply I. Oh, that is it. What else do you think? I am I. You want to end somewhere. You want to come to a landing somewhere in your teachings. You have to say, I am I. What does it mean? You cannot say it at the beginning because then you think, what is the point of that? But now we're taking you somewhere. So you understand. The I is everything. But what do you do once you know this? You see, in the quest for knowledge, who was this person? Who is this spirit guide? Who was in the brotherhood? Who? What is the ancient order? What is the ancient order? Tell me the hierarchy. I want to know. Because once I know what will happen. But you also say it is all a dream here. So why you want to know every detail of the dream? When you know that, then you will know. Oh, it kept going, but then you know. And then what will you do? You will teach it to others. Then you teach it to others. But you also know you will continue onwards and you leave the body. And now you will teach what you will learn something on the other side. Will you learn more on the other side? So you can know all that you can possibly know while you are here. You will use it to your own advantage, good, and for the advantage of those you love, maybe then in service to humanity. All of these things because you know something, and that is everything to you. So that feeling gives you a feeling of security. It makes you feel that you are safe in all totality of your existence. You are safe. What will happen then? You will not need the crystal ball anymore. Why not? You loved it before. You love the healers. You love the ones who can show you and tell you that they have traveled a little further than you. They come back like a good tour guide and say, I know what is behind the mountain and few other things I want to show you. So that is what your teachers do. They have traveled further than you, and so they come. And so, my students, I come to you, your madam, to tell you where I have been and where I am. And that is so important for this transmission. This is how we interlace with each other. Not to interface, to interlace the energy of what we are with each other. And it is because, yes, we are all one, but if we do not interlace, then you do not experience it the same way. So you must know there is the illusion of separation is not a bad thing. It is because then you say, I want to connect with you. And so then you begin to realize and to feel it is not this intellectual knowledge. But you want esoteric knowledge, then you try to intellectualize it. So you have your societies, and I had my societies, my students have societies, because you have to do something, get together and to talk. But then you get together and talk, and how long is it going to be? You'll keep talking, feeding each other what the madam said, what the brother who said, and you keep talking. When you lift yourself up and to feel, oh, I feel the light now, and I have the light of the knowledge of the heavens. And then you must still be here, and you will still have to love it. And now I love everything. Oh, now you love everything. Right, because that is a realization that is the only logical choice that you have is to love. Because those others that we mentioned before that want absolute truth and they find it in some in hate, it is the absolute truth to them. They feel it is nothing in this world that is good. They have been disappointed so much, and they're warmongers. The war is their absolute truth. And for mathematicians, the mathematics is the absolute truth. This goes on and on and on. But these are small, and you know they are small. If you don't know they are small, then you are not listening anymore. When you have this freedom to feel this love, then that is, you will know true freedom, what it means. That will be the only logical choice that you have, is to love and to live from this love. And so when you find the ultimate in esoteric spiritual knowledge, you will know there's always more love to have, more love to feel, more laughter. Look at all the beautiful creations. How many songs there have been that have been written in the time we were talking to you. How many musics have been written? How many poems have been written? How many hugs have been given? How many ideas have come to you? And so you worry of this artificial intelligence. Do not worry about it. It can only play with the data it has been given. It is not receiving from the cosmic consciousness and is not going to wipe you out. You are going to learn how, and you will see its limits very easily. You will know the difference between what is consciousness, that is spontaneous source consciousness, and that which you have created to resemble that consciousness. And that which you have created to resemble consciousness will create using the data information that it has been given and shown by you and is powered by sources that you have done. And so, as you are seeing and sensing the limitlessness of that artificial intelligence, you'll get it is very intimidating because you can imagine what it can do. But as you begin to flow with it, you will always be coming to the realization that the spark of creativity that comes from the living, that is the living spirit that you are. You can have an intelligence. You can even create a machine that has a certain intelligence that is programmed, but it is not a spirit. That is, let us say, some, at least one absolute that you can rely on. You're not going to create a spirit. Spirit only will come from where it comes from. That is where that which you consider to be the unseen realm. And why is it unseen? Because it is the point for you to be where you are now in what you call your lifetime. You're not here to see all of that and to know all of that. You live some mystery because the mystery has magic. The mystery has love. The mystery brings you joy. It is what keeps you going is so much to mystery, love, the mystery of flavor, the mystery of sound that is being created, that is being brought through. You can be in that. And oh, this is not going to end here. There's more for you to know, to learn, to feel. But we come to you again to applaud you because you're listening now. You're staying with this conversation. You are being with yourself. You are breathing into yourself. You are settling into a maturity that is happening in you where you are not rushing around anymore. You are paying attention. And that is why there is so many wonderful things that are happening. So much is more out in the open now. And it will disturb you when you say things that you do not like, but they are showing you where it is, but it is moving along at a rapid pace like never before. And you will always know that what you can count on is that love is your driving force for everyone, safety and love. And as you are discussing these things, you are already now in the esoteric understanding, because esoteric, as you call it, is only has to do with the magic, and the magic is only love, and the love is what you are. And so we continue this, but we thank you that we come to you and you still love your madam, and she loves you too. Hi.